I think we're live, if we can confirm. Oh yeah, we're live. Hey everyone, welcome back to another live stream session. So tonight's yesterday session was about 4 hours and something minutes. Um, Tonight it's going to be a relatively quick one because we only have a few actuators to assemble. We also want to try one thing, which is these specific hex nuts. We'll see if they fit inside of this these actuators, and we need to do wiring and soldering of a few actuators. So
is this usable?
Yeah, it's usable. Yeah, you can use it. So today I don't think, I mean, it could turn out to be a 3-hour live stream. Let's just see how long it takes. There is some work to do, but I think we'll be sprinting as usual pretty fast, and in parallel we'll be doing the wiring tasks and the assembly tasks. So yeah, let's see how long today's live stream goes. So the one thing I would like to do first of all is make a guess of how many actuators are left for assembly. So I'll just grab my pen and a notebook real quick. Alright, so we have it over here. Now in total there are 22 actuators. And I want to check among them how many in total are M6C12 actuators and how many are the smaller 5010 actuators. So I'll just go to the documentation to take a look real quick. Berkeley Humanoid Light Docs. Releases section, BOM in the humanoid. M6C12 actuators are so the M6C12, we have 2 plus in the legs we need 8, 2 plus 8, so there's 10 total actuators. And for the 5010 in the legs it seems like there's 4. If you needed this masking tape, it's here, and if you need like scissors and other stuff, it's gonna be in these drawers over here. Gotcha. 5010 in hands, we in the arms, in the arms we have 8. In the legs there's 4 5010 actuators, and M6C12 actuators in the legs once again 8 legs, and in the arms there's supposed to be 2 of them, so 12. So in total we need 22 actuators for this robot. And so I think we have about 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, and I think I can count about 9 of these actuators. We have M6C12 9 actuators, and 5010 we still have a few to make. So what we'll do in today's live stream is, in parallel we will be assembling the remaining actuators, and in parallel we're gonna be wiring the actuators that are already assembled together. We're gonna be making wiring connections of them, and we'll see if we can join them with these hex inserts which we just got from a hardware store. So real quick, one thing I want to check is these hex inserts. They're not exactly fitting inside of this over here. As you can see, there's a little bit of play. They do not exactly fit inside of this 3D printed part over here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to add some tape around this to thicken the boundary a little bit, so as to try and make it fit inside of the 3D printed part. So let's first of all quickly see that, because if we're able to do this, we'll save a lot of time. So I will open this tape. I will apply it over here. I will cut this remaining part. Just clean this part a little bit around the edges, and yeah, with that I am going to try and insert this inside of this 3D printed part, and we'll see if this fits nicely. Yeah, I think so. It's roughly the exact size. Yeah, there we go. Now there's almost no play. There's a very little play, but it's not it's not too much. It's not significant at all. And we'll see if we can attach the other part now with this. So this is the other part. It needs to go inside like roughly like this. Yeah, I think even one layer makes this too thick. Okay, and with that, yep, it's rotating. So that saves us a lot of time. Just having this hex insert and just applying a tape around it to increase the thickness a little bit solves the problem. So yeah, most likely tonight we are going to be assembling all the remaining actuators. Awesome, tonight is going to be a good one. We will most likely have all of the actuators assembled and fully ready and set aside after tonight's live stream. Finally, all of these will be ready for flashing the code for calibration. Let's just move these bearings away from here. This notebook as well. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 of these. Actuators, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Do we have like any if we can get any more of these, that would have been helpful, but we only have 10 at the moment. But yeah, let's just use these 10 right now to assemble the remaining actuators. I'll move these back into their little pouch. Back into this right here, because we already have the motor attached with the part, and we already have these as well. Put this back inside. LK over here. Yeah, so let's start stacking up the actuators so we can pick them up one by one and just finish all of their assembly. These parts can go over here. So today was a pretty interesting day overall here in Tokyo. If you remember from yesterday's live stream, it was pretty chilly morning and there was a sort of a storm approaching. There was a lot of wind, and early morning it was quite cold during the sunrise time. But as the day went by, the storm sort of subsided, and there was sun for a while. And later on I went to this really great meetup event here in Tokyo. It's a venture cafe, lots of really interesting people working on really amazing things. Met with many people and just came back like a few minutes ago. Just came back in time for this live stream. So it was a pretty interesting day overall. I got to learn a lot and meet lots of amazing people working on really amazing things. This one over here. Just some open parts laying around. I don't know why. Put them aside for now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have some assembled ones here as well. This is 7. And this one is the 8th one, and it's already sort of assembled. We might have to remove this glue here later on. I'll just place it like this for now. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and there's supposed to be one more which I need to find from somewhere. In total there were 10, so one we have saved for the tutorial. This is the 9th one. Yep, here we go. Here we go. This, and just moving all of these inside of the camera. Alright, so yeah, I guess you can. There's one here which you cannot see at the moment, but this is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. 9 MC612 actuators. We just need one more, but we will be making that in for the tutorial video. So these are all the actuators we need for now. They're all almost fully assembled. In today's live stream, we are just going to onigiri for dinner, sort of a small little snack while working. So today we're just gonna be finishing the assembly, just joining the parts together and soldering the wiring connections. By the end of today's live stream, we want all of the connections done, so that way all of the actuators are placed on the table and they're ready to be flashed by the end of today's live stream. So yeah, let's start one by one. I think we're also gonna expand to Twitch in a few days. We might try and do that, but from what I've seen, I did some research today. Live streaming on Twitch is really difficult, and I don't think on Twitch a lot of people will be interested in electronics, motors, this kind of stuff. I think animations or 2D illustrations, they might do really well over there, but in a few days we're gonna be converting this to a joint broadcast across Twitch and YouTube. We're gonna continue, like we're gonna be doing this almost every day, and once we're done with building this robot, which will be soon enough, hopefully, we're gonna be working on a lot of other exciting projects as well after this, and not just robotics, although there are a few robotics projects that we have in stores after this, but there will be a lot of animation, illustration, and modeling, 3D modeling, especially because in this DIY space you need to learn those softwares, CADing softwares, and sculpting softwares like Blender. So we're gonna be doing live streams on that as well. Yeah. I think we're gonna start with the assembly now. Yep. And let's see how long it takes. Yeah, just let's just pick one M6012 actuator each and just try to like assemble it right here. Finish the assembly and just put them aside. I think that the assembly will be done within like maybe 30 or 40 minutes, and after that we'll move on to soldering them together. Yep. So I was just telling the chat earlier about the Venture Cafe event. It's one of the many events here in Tokyo. It's sort of like a networking and startup pitching place. It's I think funded by the government. I'm not exactly sure. But it's like non-profit organization, like there's no membership fee to join or anything like that. Yeah, you can go to as many networking events as you want, totally free of cost, and they also give you drinks for free. Yeah, and Venture Cafe is not just limited to Tokyo, it's like international, and there's like Venture Cafe let's just for example, Venture Cafe UK, Venture Cafe US, and California, and whenever you attend some specific one, you get a badge of that one or some perks of that specific location. Gotcha. So it's an international sort of a meetup event. And they have these really nice weekly get-togethers, weekly meetups and networking events, and you can go there, and it's free of cost. Yeah, and there's pretty interesting people to meet. They're working on really amazing things. Why does this one not have brass inserts in it? I'm gonna put this to a side for now.
Just put this.
We're gonna count how many we assemble, and
First of all, let's start with MC612 actuators. These are 9. So like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Let's keep assembling ours.
No. We don't want to assemble that. That one's for tutorial.
I just made a tutorial earlier today.
You have made tutorial?
I have made a tutorial on it.
Okay, then we can assemble all 10 of them. All 10 of them are here, so we can once we assemble.
Guys, I have recorded a video for
M6C12.
Yeah, M6C12 actuator. Sorry for that short brain lag. It happens more often than not, but I've recorded a tutorial for this, and I just have to edit it, and it's gonna be live sometime early tomorrow, Japan time. So if you are in USA or if you're somewhere in the West, it's gonna you're gonna have that video live early in the morning. Okay, so I think we only have these blue bearings left, so we can start messing up with the coloring.
Yeah, we can. I've been messing up with coloring even yesterday.
But the coloring scheme for the M6C12 actuator, it was perfect for the video that I recorded earlier today.
Nice.
But yeah, I was looking at a few things to like improve these live streams, and I was really surprised to hear this advice. Like that guy was saying, a lot. You'd be surprised by how many people they just don't even talk, and it's just like some random game. And sometimes like chatters, they type something in the chat and they sit there for minutes and they don't get a response. So in that aspect, I think we have a good sort of microphone setup, and we do talk every now and then in our chat. We're pretty I think in terms of like going silent, our live stream does not have as many pauses in between chats or anything like that. That turns it a lot more boring. But the other thing I realized today is, compared to YouTube, the success we have seen so far in our live streams, Twitch is like such a difficult thing to get into and to get started and to find your first viewers. So I was looking at some YouTuber who did an experiment for growing their Twitch, doing live streams for 30 days on Twitch, and the first couple of days, for the first like 2 weeks, it was so depressing. 2.5 weeks there was no engagement, nothing, and sometimes they would just do like these 2-3 hours live streams and there wouldn't be like a single view on the Twitch stream. So Twitch is like really brutal, and I think if and there's also this trick to doing Twitch live streams where you don't it will be really difficult for your live stream to get picked up if you're doing live streams for famous games, like for example League of Legends or something like that, because at a time like thousands of people are doing live streams for those games, and if you also do a live stream for that game, your video is gonna be ranked below multiple thousands of other videos, and it's gonna be almost impossible for anyone to discover your live stream organically.
Yeah, that's quite competitive. So because Twitch, I think, is primarily for live streaming, right? It's not.
Oh yeah, only for live streaming. Like
Yeah,
you do have the option to keep your videos up there after once the live stream is finished, but they sort of die out. Like the new discovery for the videos that have already been turned off from live stream, it's almost zero.
The algorithm doesn't really take that into account, the old videos. It's primarily pushing the ones that are live right now. Okay.
Yep. So the method sort of like there was this professional Twitch streamer who told the method to kind of avoid that. It was to find a brand new game that there are not many live streams for, but a lot of interest from users
or the general Twitch audience. So you have to find a game or something else, some puzzle game stuff that only a few hundred people maybe are playing at a time, and you have to grind at those kinds of games for multiple weeks before you find some sort of success on Twitch. It's a really difficult road. And also that user, if you are starting out without any subscribers, I think it would have been the same for us exactly if we did not had like these 900 subscribers.
Yep.
So so they were also like trying to grow their YouTube, a separate YouTube channel along with that, and redirecting that traffic to Twitch.
Yeah, I think in our case the next step is, at least the most immediate next step is pretty obvious, and that's putting a camera, because it's a significant jump from having a live
we
stream.
really need that.
Yeah.
It's very difficult for people or chatters to like engage in conversations if they're only looking at like a table sort of setup.
Yeah.
I don't know why all the parts I keep picking up, they only have like a few. Even this one does not have brass inserts in there. Why are all these parts like this? I think I just brought them over here from the other table. That's probably why.
There's parts over there that do have brass inserts.
I think we're gonna have to assemble those first. Reg just said, "Morning guys, I don't like Twitch." Yep, I've never been on Twitch before, but this was just for like to experiment with a new live streaming format we've got going on, because there's this plugin in OBS, the software we are using to do live streams right now, where if you sign in with your Twitch account, it just broadcasts the exact same thing that we're doing on YouTube onto Twitch. And we don't really know what to make of it, but it's better to have it being broadcast on multiple platforms instead of one. But I have the same feelings towards Twitch, exactly. Like, I don't think anyone on Twitch will be interested in electronics or robotics or the geeky stuff we're interested in. It's almost always exclusively for games, or maybe some like OF sort of less, you can say, extreme version of OF or something like that.
Yeah. So
also I don't expect anything from pushing these live streams there as well, but we're gonna try it for like 1 to 2 weeks. So it's gonna be running on parallel to these YouTube live streams, and we're gonna try it for 1 to 2 weeks, but just purely because I'm interested in seeing what happens, but I'm not expecting anything from that, to be honest.
Yeah, so earlier today, Raj, I was at an event and I just barely made it back in time for this live stream. That's why we're slightly late today. Anyways, at the event there was a Canadian guy who he's sort of working in a company. I don't know if he was a partner in that company or not. It seemed like it was his he was a partner in that company, but they're building really good quality batteries in Canada, so indigenous technology in Canada, and their batteries are different from the batteries which are commonly being built for lithium-ion batteries, in the sense that they did not use lithium, so they were using some different formula, and they were really energy dense. So that was his core selling point, that their batteries were far superior in terms of longevity, in terms of the power that they could hold, as well as they were safe to use. So it was a pretty interesting, we had a really long conversation, about the state of batteries as well as
he was really confident about his batteries. Like he was like, our batteries are far superior to what you can get.
yeah. And they were so they are pitching in the Canadian market as well, but they are going global as well. So he was looking for partners and investors. He had like some sort of goals built. He was looking for basically anyone at this point who could provide any value to their company in terms of engineering, in terms of R&D, in terms of investment, and in terms of distribution, um, and even in terms of a proof of concept, especially with any pilot projects like drones or any EVs. So yeah, we had a really long and interesting conversation. And I did tell you that there was a guy I was speaking with yesterday, which was you, Reg, who was thinking of building BLDC motors, brushless DC motors in Canada. And we had a conversation about indigenous technologies and how having technologies built locally, how that lowers the cost for that part in the country. So yeah, it was pretty interesting.
Reg, we gave you a shout out at a networking conference, but the name was Reg.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he will be able to find you or look you up using that name.
His accent was Spanish though. He was a Spanish guy, but like he'd been living in Canada. He had Canadian nationality.
But it's a pretty small world.
Yeah, it's a pretty small world.
If you're working on the motor stuff, if you start working on them, I'm pretty sure you guys are gonna bump into each other at some point.
Yeah, for sure. It is a very small world. Referring back to the Alex Berman comment.
Yeah. Yep. We got comment on our YouTube channel from Alex Berman, which is like really crazy. Even though that does not mean anything, but it still means
A lot.
Yeah. It's really difficult to snug it in a place. I don't know.
Yeah, by the way, the person I mentioned earlier, the one that was building the pet sitting app,
Yeah.
she and her co-founder, they also met at sort of an accelerator program. So it was kind of like YC, but in a different country. It was, I think, in Taiwan, some accelerator program. And
Okay, so they must be really into this game, venture capitalism,
ventures,
and
yeah.
these stuff.
yeah, she'd been doing startups and business. She'd been involved in startups ever since university almost.
Yeah.
In that case,
Yeah, it's
back in
good
LA.
it's good to like go to these events every now and then, but regarding the conversation of bootstrapping a business or going down that route, I'm not a big fan of that route.
Yep, agreed.
You should always try and bootstrap your business, especially if you're the biggest believer in your business and if you can make it happen without any venture money or anything like that.
The thing is, if there are no sales and no online users using your product, what's even the point of the product? The if no one's using it, if it's not valuable enough, then what's even the point of working on it? And if there are users that are using the product and they're paying you for it, then what's the need for investment money?
I mean,
It's
it's
sort-
you sometimes need it to scale it to those crazy numbers, and
It's sort of that thing which has become too common. I think
you
many
sometimes have to go that route, but I would never recommend if like your app is good on its own. I would never recommend bringing that corporate and established corporate culture or anything like that in.
Yeah. I think one can very easily bootstrap a business up till the point where either some big corporation comes in and they purchase it and you get an exit, or now you are at a point where it's maybe doing like $2 million a year, $3 million a year, and you need to take it to $20 million or beyond a year. then you would of course need to have systems in place, and you would be in a territory where you do not have experience. But I think till 1 million, it's not really that much about investment, or it's just basic business, basic demand and supply, and basic marketing and sales. It's just the basics till then.
And we also had that conversation early on that because of AI and blockchain, there are gonna be like so many small businesses that are gonna build things that these big companies are gonna be like frothing in their mouth for, because they are almost never the first movers in industry. They love to just sit back, let some small companies take the risks, and if those companies end up succeeding, they just throw in the money and they try to acquire that company.
Yeah. You have to invest your own money first. For example, the company Figure One built their robot, and now they have $100 million funding. Yeah, totally. I totally agree with that. I totally agree with that. So I'm not. Everyone has, again, once again, there's no right and wrong in this. Everyone has sort of has their own preference. It's just that um, our preference is bootstrapping. I think basic sales, at least getting a few customers, especially with the technologies available today, rapid prototyping, rapid manufacturing. If you have time, go check out their demo they released today, Figure 03. It's really, for sure, I will check. I will for sure check it. In fact, let me just write it
We
down.
can have a look at it right now.
Figure 03.
They released it on YouTube, so you can just like open a new tab here and have a look at it.
I wish we had like a sort of a feature where we could share the screen, or
I think, I mean, is there any information that we are at risk of exposing on this screen over here? I don't think so. Maybe for the next live stream.
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah. But yeah, we can.
we can take a look at it afterwards. And
Yeah, and we do. I do have implemented the feature of sharing the computer screen, but I'm not sure if the live studio I have opened, if we wanna share that or not. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't understand all the bells and whistles of it yet.
But not only do I just want to see their demo, but I also want to see in depth about their company, how they started, when they started, what their product line is. I would like to dive into their story a little bit. So for sure, we'll check it after this live stream.
We'll check it, and if you're present in the next live stream, we will have a short, brief commentary on it.
Yeah. So in my case, the way I like to take products is I believe that, especially on the software side, obviously you do not need a lot of capital, and you do not need a lot of lead time. If you really put yourself out there, you can build a product really fast. As well as with hardware and assembly, with 3D printing, you can have a proof of concept fast.
The cost is always going to be a bit high in hardware, but with 3D printing and everything, it's way less than it used to be.
Yeah.
And I genuinely think anyone moving in hardware is at this time has like an early mover's advantage, just because of where this space is going to be in the future. For robotics, we are really in a time for that. I believe that it is the right time to get started, because it is a market that will grow in years to come, and the demand will. That's exactly what I believe in, Reg.
Yeah.
Anyone investing that money and time to learn these skills, acquire these skills, especially as they are become easy, more and more accessible every day because of AI. and generally because of a lot more open source interest in the space, I genuinely think anyone investing time, money, effort in this right now will find huge returns on their investment in the future.
Yeah. So I met a pretty interesting person today, and his master's thesis, I think, or PhD, I don't recall exactly, but it was high voltage transmission lines between countries. So countries which
Okay.
are interconnected, many European countries like
Yeah.
Spain and the surrounding countries. His thesis or his research was on high voltage transmission of electricity between different countries. And he was a pretty interesting guy. He had really good and in-depth knowledge of just basic physics and electricity, power in general. He had a really good grasp of all of these different domains. And he told me that he also wants to move to robotics. Just
Yep.
because,
Yep.
yeah. But he was like a really smart guy. You remember the guy we met at?
It's the exact story of my life. Like in university, I also did power instead of electronics, but I later on I figured I had no interest in that whatsoever.
Yeah, you remember the guy we met at when we went to that transmission line project, damper project.
Yeah.
That 14-year-old boy we met.
Yeah.
So I got similar vibes from him, although much less compared to him. He had a very entrepreneurial personality as well, not just study, but he had a good grasp of all topics. This one had purely a very good grasp of just technical depth of all of the domains, and
Yeah.
really semiconductor level power, electricity transmission from very small level to big scale. He had a very good, and he told me
Basically, like both electronics and power.
yeah, both electronics and power. And he told me before even he knew that I was in robot. He did not know we just met. He told me that because of the recent shifts and because change is accelerating, I think robotics is very soon gonna be the next thing, very soon. So I want to get into robotics, and I was like,
Yeah.
hey, dude, I build robots.
Yeah.
And we had a pretty interesting chat afterwards. I am connected with him as well, and will most likely meet again as well. So yeah, robotics is sort of it's sort of having
Yep, like these days it's getting all the attention from many people in the world, like us, like Reg, like the person we meet today in Venture Cafe.
yeah. He
So all that attention for it to have some other major breakthrough and something innovative to happen in there, and the barrier to entry, it's gonna be way less in a few years, and the people that are working on it right now, they will have like the early movers advantage on it.
Okay, so Elon Musk said his robot is able to duplicate tasks by watching videos. Imagine they are more advanced than I thought. That could be true. But
yeah.
Musk has a history of saying very ambitious
Yeah.
things very soon just for pure marketing purposes. It doesn't necessarily mean he doesn't believe it. He is a very ambitious guy, and he tends to have a very short and tight deadlines for the projects, so it doesn't necessarily mean he's saying it wrong, but there's no way of knowing for sure if that's possible, if that already exists. But even if it does not, it very easily will exist in 2 to 3 years.
I think if that were true, probably robots in China would be doing the same thing if that were possible right now.
Yeah,
but
very easy.
Yeah, but that can easily happen in a few years.
Yeah, I think Reg would also agree that Chinese companies, the robots from China, are gonna do all of these things far more early as compared to like Tesla's robot or any other robot. There's just too many companies in China, and all of them are just competing at the most world-class level in robotics.
Yep, and The AI models, especially the generative AI models from China, they are open source, and for a while now they had been, like, even in the open source community right now, the Chinese models are far superior to a lot of paid models from the West. I think before Sora was released, just like a few days or maybe a week ago, the One 2.2 video model from China, it was the best generative video model, and it was also free to use and open source and all that.
Yeah, so the guy I was mentioning earlier, he said his prediction is that very soon there will be robots which anyone can just program and command with natural language, and they will very quickly just learn to do that thing.
Yeah.
So his prediction was that programming will become natural language very soon, and it will be integrated with robots, within robots, very seamlessly and smoothly very soon. And so that was why he wanted to get into robotics and learn a bit more about this field.
Yep. It's a really interesting field as well, like, just in terms of learning,
Yeah, and
getting to learn how these things
yeah,
work.
and right after that, him, me, and the other guy I was telling you about, the Canadian guy who who's working on this battery, his own batteries in Canada. The three of us got into a discussion about how AI or robotics could be very dangerous about the world, how the world is becoming more unpredictable, and changes are accelerating. We had a very philosophical discussion about that.
Yeah. I think it comes down to human nature in the end, and there throughout history, in any era, in whatever time you pick, there have always been like ambitious people and people with wrong intentions. And this time around, for sure, like, people with wrong intentions are gonna get their hands on these technologies and use it for whatever nefarious purposes they have in their mind.
Yeah, but robotics in general. I'm not that impressed by China's robots because yes, they move better, but Chinese weakness is the software side. People don't necessarily want a robot that does kung fu lol.
That does come for, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, the thing with China is, in terms of manufacturing and just like sheer amount of people that China can put on a single project, it's like way superior compared to like any other part in the
No,
world
I
right now,
don't-
especially in terms of tech projects.
How I don't understand if their weakness is the software side. I don't understand if they're I don't really know if Chinese people are weak at software. I would imagine much the opposite, that they're pretty good at software side as well.
I mean, a lot of people like say the software they have learned so far, it's not like indigenous. A lot of it is from the offshore companies like Apple and other companies outsourcing their manufacturing to China. So that's kind of the angle I think Reg is talking about. A lot of the software that has been implemented in Chinese sector, it's not indigenous or anything, it's just a copy of superior software built in USA or somewhere.
It could
But
be,
the thing is,
but-
if tomorrow we are moving in the hardware world, in a hardware field, if the hardware field is way more, let's just say, economically viable to a country, then China is like the king in that regard. No other country has prepared an infrastructure on that scale for like the age of hardware and robotics,
yeah,
like the way China has.
yeah.
And the thing is, it's something you can't do overnight, of course, because of the condition of the economy, because of the kind of motivations people have. Like in China, they were. I wouldn't call it smart or dumb, or like I'm not pro or against it. I think, but they have rallied everyone around this common theme of like whatever work you're doing for China, like this whole extreme nationalism. And it's been easier and a more successful experiment in that part of the world because in other countries like in Canada, they are very confused about their identity, I would say, like a nation as a whole, like what their history is, what their culture is, what is a Canadian. If you compare that to Chinese people, they have been really successful on that front as well. And when you have a lot of mass of people agree on certain basic things like that, it's way more easier to like get something done, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it just promotes a sense of collaboration.
Yep. And if the other countries, they want to start doing that today, like make the whole country rally around one common theme and have one core mission, which just like China, it's gonna, I don't think how much chances they have for success, like even. So what screws do we use for this, like 25?
Yeah, M3X25.
M3X25.
We also had some discussion about cybersecurity. There was a person there who said that if you're in cybersecurity, you can very easily find good jobs here in Japan because there is a demand for cybersecurity. By the way, Asahi, it's one of the largest beer companies here. Here in Japan.
I saw the ad the other day. Asahi's ad with the Arisu from Alice in Borderland. His character also did a cameo recently because of their new season.
Yeah. So, Asahi was there was a cyber attack, and it just knocked off all of its operations in the production line. It just knocked off all of the systems of the Asahi production line, and they were using some third party, I think, now to try and keep up with the production. So that was a pretty interesting event. It just happened last week, I think. And we sort of got into a discussion about cybersecurity. It's a pretty emerging field, and I think it's one of those fields, just like blockchain or AI, which because we are entering into a more and more digital era, it's one of those fields whose demand is just gonna keep skyrocketing.
Yeah, it's an evergreen field. Like it's an evergreen. Even with the best of AIs for cybersecurity, you're gonna have people constantly working on those AIs, preparing those AIs for the latest trends in cybersecurity and whatnot. So it's an evergreen field. Yeah. You know what's also evergreen? Texas. So if there are some really good Canadians do not manufacture anything. We are a service country and we depend a lot on the Americans, but this will change with the arrival of Trump. Yep. I don't know exactly what the political situation inside Canada is, but I met a Canadian 3 days ago, and I met him the first time, and I just asked him, like, I listen a lot to USA politics, and things seem really messed up right now, especially people on the right and left. They are moving to more and more extreme fringes on their side, and I was like, it looks really bad in the US at the moment, and I wanted to ask if Canada is in a better place compared to USA or not, and he was like, dude, in Canada things are way worse than what you see in the USA, but it just doesn't make it to news as much because of course the rest of the world has their eyes more on USA. So I don't know, especially with the arrival of Trump and with him like chanting about making Canada their next state and stuff like that, what the relations between Canada and USA are gonna look like. But it's the things are getting really messed up in both places, generally around the world as well. But yeah.
Yeah, they are talking a lot about bringing manufacturing back into US or
MAGA.
yeah, MAGA. But let's see.
Are there any talks in Canada, Reg, about MAGA? I would say like make Canada great again.
Make Canada
Bring the
great.
manufacturing back to Canada. I'd be interested in hearing if there's something like a version of MAGA exists in Canada. Yeah, but Japan also is facing a lot of course, with the declining population and with the labor force, Japan is also facing a lot of issues. Korea is also really bad. So yeah, I mean, things globally, like especially all these days they talk about the USA debt ceiling. It's starting to emerge more and more. So as a whole, the world seems to be headed in some sort of direction, and it does not look good. Let's just hope it's a direction, not a really bad direction, but it seems to be a really bad direction where the world is headed into. Where are the biddings for this one? 5010.
I think there was a pack somewhere over here.
Yeah, I think these are the
Yeah.
5010
Yep.
biddings.
Yeah, exactly.
I think doing this kind of stuff is way easy in like third world countries. If you know what you're doing, you can work on like really high precision equipment, high precision robotics in third world as well. We were having like a really good time working on these projects back when we were in Pakistan, and it's more I would say it's definitely more difficult working on these things in Japan compared to Pakistan.
Yeah, so there's obviously a market which exists everywhere. There's demand and supply in every country, and between that you can find the gaps. It's the Japanese market is a bit too niche, and they have a huge language barrier as well. Here in Canada, we hate Trump. Right now, we are suffering enormously from Trump's tariffs. Yep. I would
Yep.
assume that would be the case. And the aluminum market is falling.
Yep. I think that's the sentiment all around the world. Like
So,
when he came out with those tariffs and everything, I think pretty much everyone unanimously said that this guy is like stupid or something.
yeah, it's pretty much that's pretty much the opinion across the board. So like even our country, Pakistan, faced tariffs. Like
It's like a common sentiment everywhere
even
in the
Japan,
world, and
even Japan, and Japan is a very good ally to them.
yep,
Even
and
it faced
yep,
tariffs.
and some, according to like most people, the impacts of tariffs, they haven't like fully made it in this the global supply chain infrastructure, the whole global economy yet. So I don't know what that dude was thinking doing that stuff.
He was thinking China.
China. So I think the stuff he's doing with Venezuela right now, and he talks every now and then about merging Canada and with the Greenland. I think those kinds of talks really don't help when they're coming from like the most powerful country in the history of like the world. I don't think those kinds of talks are helpful for the whole world as a. I would it would be much better for like faith in humanity if the leader of the free world was saying something positive about the neighboring countries, increasing trade. But we seem to be hearing that sort of sentiment from China. Like China, at least what its position is, will do trade with everyone, will do manufacturing with everyone, will like work on these projects. And in Asian countries and around that block, the Belt and Road Initiative, it's really famous. But right now, the world needs to hear more of that sort of stuff, collaboration, and instead of like wars, we're gonna capture this country, this territory, we're gonna merge this land.
But the ground reality, I mean, if we were to look at the reality of the situation, is conflict and war. Defense industry is the one that's most heavily being invested in and the most thriving in US as well as in other countries as well. There's most money.
I don't think we can ever have a situation for sure that where there are no conflicts, no whatsoever. It's just like such a ingrained part of human nature, human like experience and everything. Like you will have ambitious people regardless of their locality, their race, their ethnicity, whatever. As long as there are humans, these wars and stuff like that will continue.
It's just simple ground reality shows that defense is the most
profitable.
That's just the how the situation of the world is. And
and they always end up winning, like these neocons and these warmongers. They always end up winning in the end.
It's really difficult to fit these
in their like Year of the Dragon parade. I think China was supposed to show some robots. Everyone was looking forward to their robotic army, but they only kind of had like a sport dog sitting on top of a tank. That was pretty much it.
Sport.
Yeah, but we can't we might see like whole robotic armies sometime in the future.
I mean, the conflicts have already changed quite a bit with drones, especially. And these kinds of technologies shift the conflicts a lot. Just like we can see the drones which are being used in Russia-Ukraine conflict. It's like a lot of drones are being used.
Let's just call it like the conflict in the like upper northern part of Asia, because YouTube might flag our live streams for that. Well, just talking about it won't do I think much, but still helps to be careful.
They want to dominate the world, whether it's China, Russia, or the United States. Technologically, we are living in a good period, but at the same time, we are living in a dangerous period. 100%. Agreed.
I 100% agree with that sentiment, because if you read like any part of the history, it's not really hopeful or optimistic about the situation we're in right now. there has been no like lasting peace, the kind of peace we had for a few decades now after the last the World War, but there has been no like really long sustained period of peace. It has always like especially in the last few years, the conflicts have started to escalate more and more, and it always happens. It's like a pendulum that like always comes back to haunt you.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
yeah, once again, just like I mentioned a little while ago, um, just look at the ground reality of the situation. Look at any major country, and the most amount of budget being spent, and the most thriving industry would be the defense industry. And I wish we could say that we want peace, we want a peaceful country. We Everyone wants that, but just the ground reality of the situation, it denies that. Like, what are we supposed to do? What are we supposed to say? That's just how things are. And looking at human history, looking at these sort of ground realities or facts, um, uh, one cannot really say that there won't be a war or there won't be a conflict, or one can reasonably go towards peace. Obviously, we all try our best, but it's just that human history has been a history of conflicts. And they all want to dominate the world, just like you mentioned. That's totally true. Can you try putting these in? It's really difficult. I have been able to put in one so far successfully.
Just let me put in these two hex inserts, and then I'm gonna
Yeah.
press.
Okay. Oh. Start with this one afterwards. Try this one.
Yeah, I think you have to like when inserting this one, I don't think you need a 180-degree offset. I think that might be the issue.
I'm just trying. I'm just iterating.
But
Yeah,
I did mention a trick in the video I've recorded for this actuator that might help, like when if someone else is like trying to put this together. The trick we're using for that, I think it can end up helping other people as well.
Okay.
The camera is in it totally. It helps to be here, yeah.
Do we have more bearings with this one?
I'm not sure.
Uh, Look at the pack.
Yeah, these ones might be.
Yeah, these are the ones probably.
We have 4 more of these, so you can unbox these as well. If there are any other like parts that don't have hex inserts in them, I can add them in right now, so we can just focus on assembling everything later on. Yep. So, oh damn! So there's a whole actuator unit that has no hex inserts whatsoever in there.
Yeah, just after this one, close this and first let's try to assemble the M6E12 actuator, because we do have 10 and we only need 10 in total. Okay. So let's just first of all get rid of them.
Okay, so just like unplug this thing. Solder for now.
Okay.
Unplug it.
We do have all 10 of them here. We want to assemble them and put them aside. These actuators are so cool, by the way. Cycloidal gear drive, the way it actually functions, it's so fun to see in person, in hand. Pick this one up and try to assemble this.
This one?
Yeah, this one.
Okay. Let's give it a try, guys. I am gonna remove this. Okay, so the way I put it in there is, first up we're gonna put it of course on here at like an offset, but the way I put it in there is I put it in there like this. So first up we need to make sure the lower part of the gears is in, and then I kind of rotate this gear.
Yeah, I also
try to get this one to sit in there as well. You can just keep passing these to me and I'll put them in.
Ah, now it makes a bit of sense.
Yep, so it's in there now.
Fully?
Yep.
Wow, that was fast.
I'm pretty used to putting together the 6C12 ones now. Well, it's out now. But yeah, there's one issue with putting it in this way is that it kind of gets stuck in between the teeth of the gears. But I think we will know if that's an issue or not once we test the actuators when the PC arrives. Okay, so we have to put it this way around. Let's put in there. It's okay. I think it looks good. Now let's attach bearing over here and push it from the other side. Yep, you kind of have to apply a little bit of force only to push this in, otherwise it's gonna get stuck in there and it's gonna be really difficult to move it around. It's kind of like a it's a struggle putting this in there. I think I'm gonna I'm not a big fan of it, but I think I'm gonna attach the other part as well before pushing it in, so it makes it easy to apply force at least. I'm gonna attach this over here. Now it's upside down. Let's remove it. Okay, now I think I'm gonna put one bearing over here on this side and the other one on the it should be horizontal now, I think, but it's really difficult to gauge that.
Yeah, this one takes some effort.
Yep. So let's not even try to put the bearing first. Let's just get it in there in its position. Yep, this one is taking a bit of effort.
Yeah, the M6E12 actuator takes some effort to fit inside properly in a way.
Yep, I think we need to keep the tolerances much better as well, like if we're ever building this actuator again, because it kind of gets stuck in there. And you all the parts for the 5010, this part for 5010 C612 are different, right?
They're similar, I think.
No, yeah, they are definitely different. They're definitely different.
Oh yeah, they're different. They are different because the size of the cycloidal gears, it's also different. The cycloidal gears mount onto this part, so yeah, it will be different.
Then let me check the size of this part then, if it's right or not.
It's most likely right because it's fit it snug in pretty tight and properly.
Still, I'm gonna double check it just to be sure, otherwise it's gonna be like a lot of pain trying to figure out if it's the right one or not. It looks okay to me. Yeah, it looks okay. If these gears are not aligned with each other, it also becomes really difficult.
So there was one other guy I met today. He was from Indonesia and he's working on a tech travel structure. Like he's building an application where people who want to travel, it solves a lot of problems of in general of people who
we always face this issue. I hope the live stream is working. The signal should be up, good to go in a second. Yeah, if you can click on open widget. I think we're facing an issue with the signal. Reg, if you can let us know if you're able to hear us or not.
Yeah, the buffer rate seems slow on YouTube. You can see, right?
Yep, the live stream it
Oh, I think the live stream is fine now. Just from the buffer rate I can see.
okay.
Yeah, so just to answer the question, I have a question. Do you plan on putting grease on the gears since they are only plastic to prevent premature wear? So no, we will not be putting any grease on this. There is a chance for premature wear, and with enough iterations, with enough applications, it's not even a chance, it will most likely happen. However, it's very easy to print these parts once again.
Yep, so we haven't put the whole assembly together and we don't know what the motion of the robot is gonna look like once everything is assembled together. But if the motion looks clunky and if we feel the need to apply grease in there with the actuators, I think we're gonna try that. But first we're just gonna put everything together and get a general feel of what the robot and the actuators how they move.
Yeah,
But if these parts were not 3D printed and if it were an actual like universal gear motor or something like that, uh, yeah, we would definitely be applying a lot of grease. No amount of grease you can apply to the gears of a motor is ever enough.
Yeah, but with this one,
Yes, it's come back now. It's freeze for
For
30
30
seconds. Okay, thanks for letting us know, Reg. Thanks.
yeah. So, but for this robot, even if there's wear on the plastic parts, they're very easy. I think it takes only about a few minutes, less than an hour, to print like 4 or 5 or 6 of these gears.
I think we can. Yeah, we have a few parts printed on the. So we have a lot of extra parts just printed and
Lying around, yeah.
lying around in our room.
So we'll just open up the actuator and quickly just change the parts and put it back again, because it's just a proof of concept. We were not building it for production or very long-term usage. So yeah, normally they are metal, right?
Yep, in like let's say if you have the a lot of money and if you're a big company, they always go with the metal route.
Yeah.
Yep. So this is the cheap route, definitely. But and in those metal motors, and when you're putting together, of course you apply a lot of grease in there.
Yeah. So
So-
normally, yes, they are metal and they're machined. So they are a CNC machined parts. So these ones are 3D printed plastic parts, but exact same dimensions. You can have them CNC machined and they're metal parts. There's very interesting issues which arise even with metal parts. I don't remember exactly what were the issues, but there were issues with overheating. I think overheating of those parts. So even if
That's also gonna be an issue.
yeah, because metal also gets very hot very soon in a continuous operation. So you need to have some sort of vents or venting mechanism to constantly dissipate heat and ensure cooling of the actuators. But yeah, normally they are actuators in unitary sort of robots. Yes, they are metal. Alright, this part also went in.
Is it rotating or not? Uh,
Yeah, it is rotating.
but it's really difficult to get it to rotate.
Which you've not even put any part inside of it.
No,
The hexing. So
uh,
just this much is good. Just put it aside.
It's like at an offset, if you can like look.
Yeah,
look in there.
it is supposed to be at an offset.
No, like angle wise.
Angle wise,
Yep, it's
try with this. Rotate it with your hand.
if you can like look at it this way, it's not perfectly straight up.
Oh
Yeah,
yes,
so it's gonna cause a lot of unnecessary resistance
Yep,
in the
yep, that makes sense.
actuator.
Yes.
So I'm gonna have to remove everything once again.
So I can have this part just like this, and just
Yep. So I think there is some issue with this part for sure. I'm gonna have to line them up, and I'm gonna have to look at their sizes. Yeah, so this one is yeah. So this part was the one I was using early on. It was for 5010. So that's what caused the issue.
this wrapper looks like it's a wrapper for some biscuit.
Yeah, these bearings we ordered from Japan, right?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
not
these,
sure. But
These bearings came from Japan, and we ordered. So this is NTN Corporation, made in Japan, and they're really good quality. And we did order a bunch of bearings from abroad as well, but these are the Japanese ones that we're fitting right now. The size, dimensions, everything is exactly the same. It's also really interesting how Japan made its name and brand in 1980s,
Yep.
90s. Like made in Japan got like so popular. Uh, in the like 1980s, 1990s, the Western people were as obsessed with the made in Japan part as the Japanese people or the world in general is obsessed with Western culture, like how much West has exported its culture. Japan had the same kind of influence with its products all across the globe in 1970s, 80s, because of their really amazing manufacturing at the time. These days the economy is like really messed up. It's in a bad state, like most other parts of the world, of course. I am gonna try and put this in as it is. Firstly, it's a struggle getting this in for sure, and I'm not really sure if we are using the correct parts for the 6E12 to put these gears together.
By the way, this is once the actuator is assembled, it looks really cool, and
This is our like 7th live stream, and we've
still not
the 8th
gotten
live
over it.
stream,
Yeah,
and we've said it for the 800th time, but
Yeah.
it looks really
yeah.
cool.
Once you see the finished product in hand, it looks really beautiful, and you're like, this was worth all of the work. So I'm just gonna put this one aside as well. We can
Finally,
just quickly.
dude, you know the issue with this one was we were using a part for the 5010.
5010 actuator.
Put this together. So you need to be a real geek with the labeling and sorting of your parts. We got a few parts mixed up, and it caused a lot of issues just now trying to put this together. So everything should fit perfectly now, and now the rotation it's perfect now. I'm gonna put this back, and give me the caps for this are here.
Yeah, I think this one's also done. So I'm gonna put this here as well. 2 of these done. I'm gonna have a photo of these even open like this once they're all finished, because
They look really pretty. If you can move them in camera slightly
over here.
So
they're not even fully assembled yet.
Yep, and I have like 2 5010 as well that are on the same stage.
Yeah.
You did not put the screws in there, why?
I'm just gonna put them later on. For now, I'm just assembling it.
Where's the dinosaur?
I'll take one picture right now.
I'm gonna
Just a second. By the way, be very careful with this.
Yep, I think they will look much better when I think we definitely need these. I think they look much better with the
Reg
black
said,
screws.
I have to go. My son is back from school early today. I'm going to watch the replay tonight of this live. Have a nice day. Hey, for sure, man. Yeah, thank you very much for tuning in. And yeah, have a good time with your son. No worries. We're just gonna be doing our thing.
See you later, Reg. Bye. Take care. I think you can. I think we can put screws in all of these at the same time, and
yeah,
then
we can. First, let's just assemble this, and then we can very quickly.
I'm just gonna like use the dinosaur to push everything in. Can you go to like switch to analytics or viewer activity? I think it was one of them that we were on. Analytics. Yup.
Okay, so
It's today it was so damn cold over here. Like it generally felt like deep winter.
Yeah. So when we were walking in Shimbashi after the Venture Cafe event, it was really chilly, cold wind.
Yeah.
Blowing. And it was like pretty nostalgic.
I think in a week or so we're gonna have to start using heater as well, because
most likely
it's getting there. Okay, so you haven't even like attached the
what
the what do we say, the lid below the this part. I mean you can put it in there as it is, I think. Oh no, I think so. If we can try.
just no, just pull in the above part, bearing and that. Don't take this out.
I mean, even if we take it out, it's pretty easy to put together. I figured out the problem. The problem was we were using the 5010 unit between the helical gears, so that was the problem.
5010 unit
between the helical gears. Yep. So that was the main issue.
Have you checked the size? Are they different?
They are different. Yes, I have checked the size. Grab the remaining pieces from there. So we are sure. I'm gonna like disassemble this, because if we brute force our way and put those parts in there, the motor is gonna have a lot more difficulty moving.
In that case, I mean, make sure that we're using the right ones. Make sure we are using the right ones. Here are some of them.
I really wanna turn on some music, but we're gonna have
copyright, right?
Yep.
No, but it's good. It's good that we are making the video instead of
yep. Like I was just thinking we can increase the lo-fi music, or
lo-fi music.
Yep. So everything's pretty tightly tucked in there, and it's really difficult to move it now. But we're gonna I'm definitely gonna double check everything. So just remove this one as well, and you can place the ones for the all of them side by side, and there will be a clear size difference between.
Is there any size difference between the ones that you have right now?
Yes. And
okay, then in that case I'll just remove this and let me know if this is which one is this.
So we have 6 smaller ones, which are probably for the 5010 and only one big one.
Okay.
I don't know how many 5010 parts we have used.
Check this one. Is it like
you're gonna have to let me. I think it's the big one. this is the right one.
Yeah, most likely.
Yeah,
Just compare
so-
it with
yeah.
the short ones.
So this is the short one.
Yeah, it's short.
So this was the right part. So you can put that one back together, and I'm gonna double
By
check.
the way, have you ordered this presence module again?
Nope.
We
We're gonna
need-
need a different card for that.
We need to do it tonight before sleeping.
Yeah,
We need to.
what did
make
he
sure.
say? Like when he showed
So
him?
like he wanted it by Saturday, but Saturday is like the day after tomorrow.
Like, but are you gonna like ship it to him?
Yep. Right now our task is to confirm from DHL or Japan Post if they can ship it or not.
Okay.
Yeah, that's our only job at the moment. If they can ship, then he'll send over the money and we'll ship.
Okay.
But if they, in case they do not, he will have to arrange some person here to grab the parts from me and
Okay.
somehow take it through the airport.
Gotcha. Yeah. I think yeah, getting it through airport, it's not gonna be like a
Yeah, it's not
because
gonna be,
because I think the clause is for like bulk export or something like that.
yeah.
For personal use, I think it's pretty chill.
Yeah, so just for reference, it's the Sony's presence module. It's a very precise IMU, and Japanese company were not sure if they really want anyone to take this module outside of Japan. They probably require special permission or not. We're not sure at the moment. And there someone wants to test these modules, so he wanted them in Europe, I guess. So we're just figuring out if Japan Post is can ship these parts or not.
Yep, I think this is also a big one, but
Okay,
Yeah,
this one
but-
is also done.
it
It very easily went in.
yep. So yeah, when you use the wrong one, it gets really difficult to push it in. So that was the issue all along.
That was a strange issue, by the way. I mean, I don't know how we even figured it out.
Yeah, when I was recording the video early on, I compared the two, and one of them was like definitely bigger than the other one. I did not know that because I was thinking the 3D
This is so
printing
loud
parts.
for the live stream.
I don't think it. I mean, it's not gonna be live if I do it over here. Like,
Not sure.
yeah, it's not gonna pick up as much noise from this angle. But yeah, I was thinking all the 3D printed parts for this unit were exactly the same, but it turned out they were not the same, and that's what was causing the whole issue.
Yeah. But I'm glad that we will most likely have all of the actuators ready and assembled today.
Yep.
We'll then take a screenshot from this angle as well as the live stream angle, which is very good, like with the robot and everything.
Yep. And then I think I don't know if we should. I think let's reserve the sprint for the soldering till we test one actuator at least, so we're sure which connections to solder, and then we will just hard solder them. We don't want to be. We haven't even ordered any new like thimbles or anything like that yet. So we don't want to be making all the connections for the power for the motor controllers, and then find out that they're the wrong ones.
Where's the M3X30?
Here you go. So I'm gonna use the dinosaur to
Okay.
put all of them together. Yeah, but I think due to the wars and stuff that have been growing and growing over these years, a lot more money is gonna start flowing in defense, and
Yep.
generally everywhere in the world, like a lot more money is gonna flow. It's stuck in there for some reason. Why? Okay, it went through. Yep, and a lot of robotic stuff is also gonna be used for that purpose.
Yep.
Or maybe some companies will just have robotics as a front, like commercial robotics, and then they're gonna be doing R&D on their robots for that kind of stuff in the background.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to look at the robot Reg told us about as well after this live stream.
Yep.
I think tomorrow I can arrange for a screen sharing version as well, and we need a small camera that we can place here in front, and we can record ourselves as well working on this project. But we're gonna have to find a good spot for that camera, because most of the times we're like hunched down, or we're like sitting in really weird positions trying to put stuff together, assemble everything. We're gonna have to find a really good spot for doing that. I think it looks okay, kind of okay. Yeah, this part has really tight tolerances, and it's really difficult to disassemble it once we put it together. Like this 3D print, it's got almost zero tolerance, and it's really difficult to separate these parts, which is good. Yeah, which is really good for a 3D printed part. Like I'm fully confident this part won't be getting loose or jumping around when the robot is in motion. We don't have the M3X60 screws right now, so I'm just gonna place it like this. So we got one more ready today, and this 6012 is perfect in terms of assembly, and the upper part is rotating
just
nicely.
place it here like this. Move on to the next one. We'll have all 10 ready just in a few minutes.
Okay, so yep. Which one? Yeah, I was unboxing the motor for that. I totally lost track of that. So I'm gonna need a one motor holder for 6C12, and I have one lying around over here. I'm gonna oh wow, it has no
you can check this one.
This is for the 5C 5010.
So this motor is 5010.
No, I'm putting together this one right now. Okay, I was also putting together this
5010. Yeah.
Okay, it's upside down.
Just open it up. And
I'll have to open it up again.
oh, the L key is such a mess.
I think I need to turn on the solder iron, and I need to like, or let's put this 5010 together, and then we can count how many we have left, and then if we need to do some assembly with the brass inserts, we can do that.
All right.
Yep, so I'm gonna have to disassemble that. So it's this dinosaur thing, it's like so handy in terms of disassembling them. I cannot imagine a life without it in this lab. I swear if you add up time for like manually tightening and untightening screws, I'm pretty certain it's gonna amount to years of your life wasted doing that.
Yep. The tools really do save a lot of time. Tools really do save a lot of time in every project. It's just especially with large scale projects. If
So
it's like a
you
big industrial machine.
spend, I don't know, I think you spend like, I think it was something like 40% or 30% of your life sleeping. You don't want to waste your remainder of your life just tightening and untightening screws.
Alright, that's another one. Done. There we go. Let's move on to the next one. I'll just grab this one, I guess.
I'm gonna put this back together now, and I hope it goes in there like, yep, it went in there nicely. Like the 5010 actuators have never caused us problem when assembling or putting them together. Never.
By the way, I'm glad we have the bearings now. Just not having enough parts really just halts the project for no reason.
Yep. And it's really difficult to like get work done. Like if you have stuff ready for a few actuators, it's still like a real it's really difficult to get yourself motivated to even work on that, because you know you don't have all the parts available, and you can kind of wait for everything to be available. I guess these are, yep, these are definitely for the 5010. I think we've pretty much got all of these mixed up as well between the 5010 and the 6C12 actuators. We're gonna have to figure out a way to separate them as well.
Yeah, just keep them in the boxes for now. At least the ones that you have control over right now. Keep them in the respective boxes.
Yep, I think tomorrow I am gonna look for a camera, and we are gonna do a different sort of setup with the, like, this setup is pretty much constant for whenever we need to work on projects, hardware projects like this, but tomorrow I'm gonna try and make a separate setup for whenever we're gonna be doing CADing or 3D modeling or animation. So I'm gonna set that up as well. Who knows, tomorrow's live stream might be on animation, about animation, or just illustration. We're gonna be waiting for the PC to arrive to test this stuff further, and meanwhile, like, while we're waiting for PC, I think it's better to do a drawing live stream than to not do a live stream.
Yeah, certainly any live stream is better than no live stream.
I need the L key.
So this part is also not going in. I would imagine we should check if this is the smaller one, the bigger one. Which
yeah,
one is
I think this one is easily a smaller one, a smaller variant. And I also have a big one over here if you want to compare that.
Yeah, just hand over the big one.
Yep, this is a big one for sure. It's like so difficult to get these screws in there in their like right position. Because, yep,
This is the part.
is it like the same issue?
I don't know exactly if this is a small one or big one. I don't
Just
know.
show them to me.
This is the our part. This is
Yeah, this is a big one.
but it's the small one is also
No, you can see the bottom part is
okay.
the
This is a
outlier.
small one.
Yeah, both of these are the big ones. Yeah.
This is the big one. Then there was no issue with the part then.
You're assembling the 6012 right now. What's the issue you're facing?
Yeah, with fitting, just a general issue. So this Russian guy I met today, he was mentioning he and his wife they went to a wasabi field somewhere in I don't know, it was Nagoya or I don't know where exactly, but he was mentioning the he mentioned that places outside of Tokyo were like they were kind of stuck in time. They
Yep.
never really developed, and yeah, it's pretty. Tokyo does have a very different
that's a
vibe
pretty
to
like
it.
accurate analogy, like,
Tokyo does have a very different vibe to it.
and a very sort of culturally ahead of its time sort of vibe. And if you move anywhere outside of Tokyo, except for the big cities like Osaka, etc.,
Yeah,
the rest of the places, they like, it's a really accurate description, like they're kind of stuck in time and they're really old school. Most of it is just like rice fields as far as the eye can see, and then mountains.
yep.
And Japanese people, they have a lot of villages in those areas, especially in when we went to like countryside trip towards Niigata. A lot of those places had towns, but they were kind of like ghost towns, and you don't really see anyone walking around or anyone even outside their house. It's just a bunch of old people that just do farming.
Yeah, it really is a ghost town. It's very silent, very few people, not many cars, and it's just empty everywhere. And when you come back to Tokyo, it's like a different universe altogether.
And when you see that kind of stuff with the ghost towns and everything, you can kind of understand any young person there would want to move to Tokyo, and that's why Tokyo is kind of becoming more and more densely populated. Everyone wants to move here. All the working opportunities, the good opportunities are over here.
Yeah.
Of course, in the other like big cities as well, but we're talking more generally.
Yeah, the places in Tokyo, the apartments, the flats, the offices, everything is so small and yet so expensive. It's just there's a lot of population here. I think it's one of the most, if not the most densely populated.
It's the most densely populated city on earth. The most.
Densely populated city.
I'm pretty sure it's Tokyo.
I think it was. Oh yeah, it could be. Anyways, everything here is like small, whereas if you go to countryside Japan, the houses are really huge and they're big. They're very spacious, and there's a lot of like rice fields and open fields in nature in general. Whereas in Tokyo, it's just a lot of roads and buildings. There is a greenery and nature here as well, but it's not very spacious. Everything is very tight and very very compact and efficient in general.
It's 3 a.m. over here. I think we should stop our end stream soon. I think 2 hours should be a good mark to call it a day, because tomorrow we have to be somewhere early on in the day.
Yeah.
And that's why I think we'll have to end the stream early, but we will finish everything.
Yeah, by the time we come for the next live stream, all of the MC612 actuators and the 5010 actuators as well.
I'm
most
gonna
likely,
need
they'll
the spacers, these washers.
where's
if
the
you
box? There's
Oh yeah. So do you have like extra of these, or are these just it?
and these are just it. You can grab the other ones as well.
No, like I've figured out that the washers for 5010 and 6012 are different as well.
Then we'll just need to print
I
more.
think so. Like I'm not too sure, but definitely they're different. Yep, so I think I'm gonna be done with one more 6C12 actuator really soon.
Yep. I think you're doing the last one.
I'm not too sure. Yeah, most probably it's the last one.
Yeah, and I'm also doing the last one.
What's that one for? Like over there, the part.
And that's just lying around over there. Don't bother about it.
Okay.
It's 5010 anyway. I before sitting for today's live, I made sure we had 10 6010 6C12 actuators here. So we
like
have all
stuff for 10 6.
yeah.
Okay.
So we should have like the 10 MC612 actuators on this table.
Okay, and these are for the. Yep, they look like they're for 6C12. Yep, and this one as well. And I'm gonna make sure to put it the right way around this time, and I'm also gonna make sure to use the right module for these helical screws, otherwise they cause a lot of issues when being put together. Okay, so this one is definitely for the 6E12, and let's hope that this one works. Okay, I am gonna put this in. I found a hair strand over here in the gears. I don't think it will mess up a lot, but it can potentially mess up with the. Okay, so this one I think you used some.
Yes.
So
It's not a good idea to use
Yep.
this.
So if you can grab more parts, these units for the 6E12, I think you might have 3D printed
Maybe
some more. What is that 3D print? That's I grabbed parts from here. The 3D print you just finished. Is it were these like 5010 parts or 6E12 parts?
Like, let me just quickly confirm. Yep.
What
These
is
are
yep.
50101.
Oh no, nah man.
I don't think we have this part for M6C12.
So all of these are for the 5010, yeah. But I need one part for like 6C12 right now. I don't know if we have one yet, but we're gonna have to print one. We are
Just
Just
Yeah, make
I
sure.
have a few over here as well. Let's just hope one of them is big. Uh, thank God. I just found one big part. Okay, so this one seems to be for 6C12. So hopefully this one ends up working, and yep, it's our last actuator, the bigger one. We're not gonna be needing any more of these parts after this, hopefully. So I'm gonna put it in there, and here goes nothing. Yep, so the alignment is totally off.
Look at the YouTube chart. It's like a funny cat sort of a chart.
Yep,
Cat
yep.
with 2 ears.
Cats, they rule the world. I think we could have shown this page if we had that section set up. Okay, seems to kind of work. I'm gonna grab those bearings real quick, and
I think there's only last 2 bearings remaining, 1 and 2.
Yep.
And therefore you.
It's not even open. Let's grab this one.
Is that one open?
Yep, I think I just opened it
Then,
a while ago.
I mean, where's the? You need one more bearing, right?
Yep, I do need one more.
Like, where's one more bearing?
It's probably gonna be like lying around here somewhere.
Yeah.
Are all of those boxes opened?
Yep. All
No,
of those
man,
boxes
come
are
on.
There's no way we were one bearing short.
Yep, I don't think so either. I think yeah. So we also got this circuit breaker as well for the project, and it's a really like cool sort of mechanism, and they are using this in the robot, and we're gonna be dealing with a lot of voltage, so we're gonna have to protect the robot for the wiring and everything from high current. So this is gonna come in handy when we're assembling and putting together everything. I'm still thinking about the bearing. Like, I'm not gonna be able to put this together if we don't have that one bearing. So where do we even like look for it? Can you look in that bag sort of thing?
No, these are the parts which we got from Conan. I don't think this part quite relevant.
Okay, I think.
Just look for them here if you can find from
Just
here.
let me put in this one real quick, and then I'm gonna look for the bearing.
Do we also not have this? Or this part is just lying around?
Okay, I think this is the bearing, and I think this is just like a stupid extra part.
Yeah. So this part is finished.
Yep.
It's with this.
So I'm just gonna like throw this part away for now. So we printed extra parts probably, and that's what's causing the confusion. I'm gonna remove this for now, and let's push this thing in there, so it's neatly tucked in. And where is the cap or the? I have multiple ones over here, so we did print a lot of extra parts, which is nice to have. It's nice to have options when you're sitting putting everything together.
Alright.
This is the last bearing,
also
hopefully for the 6E12.
1, 2, 3,
Sorry.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and this.
Yep, I think it's perfect. So I'm gonna
Put these two parts.
yeah, I'm gonna screw this first just to make everything.
Okay.
No, these are 25. We don't need
This
25.
is the motor with you, that part, right?
Huh?
This is the motor with this one, right?
Most probably, yeah. Do we have? No, we have one more motor.
So there's one more part which remains.
So then two bearings are missing in that case.
It's like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and there should be 10 in total.
Yep, and that's what that motor is for, I think.
Is this part like correctly? Yeah, it has both bearings.
Let me find them. Yep, these are the ones we need. Let me put this together, and then we're gonna look for bearings. Because
Yeah, and I think-
I don't think there's any chance we're two bearings short at this point.
Yeah. Also, we can call it a day after just this assembly of this one.
Where's the dinosaur?
Here it is.
We just got another like on the live stream. Okay, so we are good to go with this one as well. I actually had to attach these parts here as well. Let me align them. Let me fit them together. And let me align this one as well and see if I can put it together.
Oh, Crunchy Tails just popped in the chat. Hey Crunchy Tails, how are you doing?
Hey, welcome back to the stream, Crunchy. Yeah, so Crunchy Tails, you were asking us about making a bigger version of this robot, right? Was it you in the chat? If we discussed making a bigger version of this robot, then please let us know. I have some news on that front. It would have been so cool if Reg was here as well, and there would have been 3 avatars moving around in the chat.
Yeah, it would have been cool.
Yep.
So I think
You are missed in the chat, Reg, if you're listening to this later on. So where's the like upper yeah, we have a bunch of them over here.
yeah.
So these avatars, they just
Are you still working on the actuators? Yes. So today our actuators will be complete. They'll be finished. So the M6012 actuators are already finished. There's just one remaining, which we will assemble off camera later on. And 5010 actuators also, they'll be finished today. So yeah, we're still working on the actuators and they're almost just finished.
I think it was someone else. I don't know, because we've only talked to Crunchy and Reg, but yeah, I think it was.
By the way, Crunchy Tails, so there are some events, meetup events. I'm sure they happen in India as well. There's some which happen here in Tokyo as well. I met an Indian guy there, and he was working on his own apps. So he had, I think, 6 or 7 apps on App Store. Yeah, so he had 6 or 7 apps live on App Store, and he was working on getting customers, product market fit and sales and marketing for those apps. So it was a pretty interesting guy to meet. He codes his own apps and he launches them on App Store, and he's been doing this for a while
he has
now.
many apps live on the App Store right now.
Yep.
I think we can just throw them away.
Yep.
Just to keep everything clean. Here. I'm gonna look into the settings for these avatars. They are supposed to speak up whenever someone drops a chat. So which type of apps? So they were just generic apps. They were pretty simple VR based applications. So one app, I'm pretty sure you will have heard of it. It was an app to look up constellations in the sky, and you can like sort of pivot your app to any point in the sky and look up constellations in that direction, and it was compatible with VR. So if you wear a VR headset, you can look around and you can see different constellations in the sky. So those kinds of apps, and most of the apps were VR only. So some of them were educational, and some of them were just like typical looking at constellations and stuff like that using VR. He does work in a, I think it was a ML related field in the industry. So he is also doing a job, full-time job here in Tokyo, but he was working on those apps just as a hobby or as a side project. Yeah. And he's looking to get customers for his apps because he has quite a few of them live on the App Store, but they're not like getting any downloads and stuff like that. But yeah, even if those apps did not bring a lot of customers just at the moment, most likely doing these kinds of side projects involves a lot of learning, and one gets to learn a lot about the field because he is actually building apps, running into problems all the time. So that was pretty interesting aspect of it. He had actually built and published many of his apps, and that experience is really good. And I think marketing is just another part of it. Like, it's something you get to learn over time. You like pivot, you improve, and it's just a part of the game. So we are missing on 2 bearings.
Yeah, that are seem, yeah.
Yep, that would save us a lot of hassle, a lot of headache. Otherwise we're gonna have to source them from somewhere tomorrow. But how many 5010 actuators have we got in total? 2
in total. We need 12. So
4, 5, 6,
make a count of them.
7, 8, 9, 10. So we have 10 of them, and we have exactly 4 bearings, which means we can put together 2 more of them.
That's so satisfying to know.
Yep, yes,
that's so satisfying.
I think we I think we can start putting together the 5010. Yep, for this one I think we will need brass inserts. Yep, so we have brass inserts for one of the unit over here. I'm just gonna put it together really quick. But yeah, you can look around for those bearings.
There's one whole set of 5010, I think, over here. Just a second.
Does it have like brass inserts already fitted in?
No, it does not have brass.
I mean, then it's the same for this one. Then I think I'll have to go ahead and do that first. But yeah, after this, the soldering part is really simple and easy. So we'll just have to wait for the PC to come, and then we'll be able to test these actuators to make sure the wiring and everything is okay.
This is like the 5010, one more 5010. So how's your project going? The one that you were building, the small companion robot. Has there been any progress on that, or is it still on hold and you haven't gotten enough time to work on it?
Reg, goes to. I faced a problem in my project when I sent any data via the Bluetooth module to the ESP8266. It was not showing on the serial monitor. There can be a lot of reasons for that issue, and some issues that I have in my mind is you might not be reading the correct serial port, or you might not be starting the serial monitor to begin with, or the format for the data might be different. It might be different from what the serial monitor is expecting. So there can be a lot of issues with that. If your serial monitor is working, and if you are receiving the to troubleshoot this, you need to first make sure that your serial monitor is actually printing something. You can just print some hello statements or something like that. Once you've made sure of that, you need to make sure that you are receiving the Bluetooth data. So you can do another print on the serial monitor for receiving that data, like the data has been received and whatnot, once that flag is confirmed. And then you can see what format you're receiving the data in, and you can look around that issue. So yeah, it can be it's probably one of these issues.
Which Bluetooth module are you sending data to ESP from? ESP does have its own Bluetooth BLE support as well, right? ESP does have its own BLE.
Yep, you can. No, he's using an ESP8266. I would recommend using an ESP32 for this, because you can just look at the comparison between the two. ESP8266 is like such old school at this point. I used to use it when I was back in university, and that's like 3-4 years ago. And even I switched to ESP32 at that stage, because it has like so many better features, and also you don't need to use any external Bluetooth module. You can simply use BLE, which saves a lot of battery as well. So if you don't know about BLE, I would recommend you to look on BLE and how you can establish communication between devices, and even multiple ESPs. If you have multiple ESPs, currently I have ESP8266. Yep, so try Crunchy, try looking at the troubleshooting method I have told you just now. I used ESP8266 many years ago with NRF module. If you know the NRF, it's like a really long distance radio frequency communication device, and I used ESP8266 with that. But if you don't have any other option, if you can only use ESP8266, I would recommend doing this. First up, just make sure your serial monitor is working. Then make sure it's you are receiving the data via the Bluetooth. If you are not, you will have to fix that issue first. And when you receive the data, you have to make sure it's in the correct format, or if so everything is the right way around. So these are the steps I would take to troubleshoot that issue. But yeah, if you have looked into this and you still can't figure it out, you can reach out to me on like social, you're connected there, and I'll try to look into that issue for you. But yeah, is this project you're building for that robot of yours, or is it some other university project? You probably go to university every day too, right? Crunchy is a student. Okay, I am gonna need the seat for this, and I think we run into another issue over here. I don't think the seat has hex inserts placed in. Do you have a seat for this to put on these pillars, like this unit for the 5010 with the hex inserts? Do we have it or not? When I send it directly to the serial monitor, my ESP8266 runs well. Oh, this is not your university project, so it's just a hobby project that you're doing. When I send it directly to the serial monitor, my ESP8266 runs well. I assume what you are trying to say here is when you print on your serial monitor, it runs perfectly well, meaning like the serial monitor is working. So if that's the case, if that's what you are trying to do, I would think the issue is on the Bluetooth connection side then. Yep, so you're trying to say the serial monitor is working, but the issue in this case would be with the Bluetooth communication itself. So which module are you using for this communication? Can you grab me the bearings? Just a second, just 1 second. Let me just quickly grab the bearings. I'm looking for the seat for this. Not the seat, like yeah, the part you attach here on top. Let me take a look. And I don't think we have ones with the hex inserts. You don't think we have the ones with the hex inserts? Brass inserts. I think we have put on brass inserts on extra 6010
in
parts.
the case of 6C12.
On extra parts.
Yes.
So I think we mistook them for 5010 parts. That's a bummer.
HC05.
Yep, HC05. Yep, it's a, yeah, I know about this. It's a pretty common, and I used this I have used this modules many years ago. I don't even remember all the connections, but I think uh, if the serial monitor is working, there might be some voltage issue with the module. If it's not able to send the data to ESP, that might be an issue. Or if you are using the same voltage signals that you're providing to ESP as well, you might need have to like short the ground as well. That's also a really common issue that people run into when working with these modules. So yeah, you need to make sure to Yep. So the steps I would recommend you is definitely to make sure the module is working. It's sending the data to the ESP8266, and there might be a problem with the voltage as well. You need to make sure the voltage signals are same between the ESP8266 that you're using and the HC05 Bluetooth module you're using. And if you I write the but I write the code of walking like emo. Emo is the robot I think you're referring it to, right? Are you do you mean you're writing the code for the motion of the robot? If so, it's like a really difficult thing to do when you're starting out, and yeah, I really admire the effort. A little bit jittery, but it's working. That's so cool. That's so cool, Crunchy. And yeah, that's how it is the first time around. And once you get the basic motion done, it's just like a iterative process of improving the motion. So it's really streamlined and it's smooth. But yeah, I would really love to see what the finished result looks like. And like I mentioned early on, it's really cool that you're working on projects like this in your university days. Do you know in here in Japan, people have entire social media pages dedicated to their pets or sometimes their plushies. So they will have a random plushie or stuffed toy character, and they will make a social media account for that plushie or that character, and they would just post on that for years and years. And whenever they move to a different country or travel to a different location, or if they're in a different city and whatnot, they take pictures of their plushies with those backgrounds and keep the social media account posted and engaged. You can do something like that for your robot as well. So you can document the progress of making that robot, and once the robot is built, you can make a video series of improving the robot's motion and everything you are doing in order to improve the motion of the robot. So it's gonna be really interesting to see if you document the whole process, where in, like, let's say 1 year, 2 years time, your robot will be. Because in the short time frame it's just like a lot of troubleshooting, but in long time horizons it really starts to fall together in place, and you're able to see the progress that all the results of all the effort you've been putting all those years. Guys, I think we are missing one more 3D printed part, which would be the seat like this, but for the 5010 actuator, and I think I'm gonna have to print that, or I'm gonna have to, if I am able to find it, I'm gonna have to insert brass nuts in there. So let me just look for one. Just a second. Okay, so I grabbed this part from another 5010 unit, but as expected it's not there are no brass inserts in there, and I'm gonna have to heat up the solder and do that. And I think I'm gonna, yeah, let me grab the solder as well. I'm using C and C++ for programming. I want to write the whole code itself. Yep, C and C++, it's a really good language to learn in my opinion, and of course when you're programming microcontrollers, this is going to be the most efficient language to start with. But regarding I want to write the whole code itself, it's really commendable, and I really admire you if you're able to do it, and if you're able to stick with it long term. But generally in any kind of field we have this sort of quotation which is standing on the shoulder of giants, and which means that whenever you see some really high accomplishments in any field, it's usually built on the work and the efforts of a lot of people that came before you in that field. And in that regard, I would recommend you to look up with the stuff the open source community has done on that. Learn from it, improve it, build it, give back to the community as well in whatever way, shape or form you can. Contribute to the community as a whole, and yeah, that's what's gonna give you the best results in my opinion. Because if you start to learn everything by scratch, or even if you start to build everything from scratch all the time with every project you're doing, it's gonna be really difficult to arrive somewhere in the next 5, 6, 7 years. I think if you want to be somewhere, if you have certain goals in mind, it really helps leveraging the existing knowledge base and just getting help from people who have been in your shoes before you. And I'm all for it. I'm all for the open source community and mentorship as well. If someone has had those issues before you, that he can save you like many weeks and months of your time if you like ask for help, or if you simply build on the work already done in open source community before. Wait, I'm sending something on Insta. Yep, sure, I'll have a look at it. Guys, I think this I'm gonna have to heat up the solder and insert some brass put some brass inserts in there, and we just have one more 6C12 actuator to go around, and we don't have the bearings for that. At least I'm not able to find them. And we have two more 5 5010 actuators, and we have all the materials for that, but we just need to heat up the soldering iron and put some brass inserts in there before we can move on with assembling them. And I think that's where I am gonna call it a day for today's live stream. And after this I am gonna be working on this and we're gonna finish this. If we're able to find bearings for this today, we will finish this one as well, but we just have some minor soldering remaining after it. Just let me look at the post Crunchy you sent me. I just looked at the post Crunchy shared with me, and it's like such a cool and geeky stuff to look at. He's sent me diagrams of the motions of his robot, which directions which limbs are gonna be moving in. So it's like it looks like inverse kinematics, but a really artistic version of it. Guys, if you don't know, Karanchi is also an artist, so I follow him on Instagram. And he also makes anime artworks and stuff like that. So his joints and his version for the motion of the robot, it's of course gonna be a really artistic interpretation. And I also love drawing and all that stuff, so I totally get it. And Crunchy, it looks really good. And yeah, I really love how you're trying to put this together yourself, and like you've made these joints and the tolerances for the motion of the joints yourself, right? So I really admire your effort on this. And if you keep working on this robot, it's if you give it, I'd say 1.5 to 2 years, it's definitely gonna be ready as a commercial product. I'm not even capping with you. By that time you would have definitely perfected the motion of the robot, and meanwhile you can work on introducing AI features to the robot, because the AI robot toys are really famous right now, and some of them like that have GPT and stuff like that on their back end, they even go for like $500-$600 each. So if you keep working on this robot like this, and especially if you're spending so much time drawing everything and planning out everything, you're gonna be way ahead of the curve if you keep working on this for a couple of months. So yeah, I really love what I see with this design, and keep working on it, man. Yeah, wish you all the best. I think I am gonna call it a day with this live stream over here. It's getting pretty late over here, and yeah, tomorrow early morning we have to head somewhere as well. So for this one, we'll just gonna have to finish early on. Yep, so see you guys tomorrow. I'm probably gonna be doing a live stream tomorrow, and I'm gonna give an update on this robot. I'm not sure what tomorrow's live stream is gonna be on, but yeah, I'm gonna give an update on these actuators. Are obviously gonna be done. We might have done soldering by that point, I'm not too sure, but at the start of the live stream tomorrow I will update you guys on that. And yeah, see you guys tomorrow. And once again, thanks Crunchy, and thanks Reg. Special shout out to you guys and the rest of the people that joined our live stream today. And see you guys tomorrow. Cheers. Bye bye.